Hey everyone, welcome back to Cooking with TK. Today, you guys, you are looking at a pull apart with Philly cheesesteak filling. That's correct. I made a pull apart cheese bread with Philly cheesesteak stuffing on the inside. If you guys would like to know how I made this Philly cheesesteak pull apart, and yes, we have some cheese dip, cheese on top of cheese and more cheese. Philly cheesesteak pull apart. Let's get into this video so that you too can make a delicious tasting cheesy Philly cheesesteak pull apart for your family. Okay, you guys, first I have all of my ingredients here. I had a can of pizza dough to pop on me, so I decided that I would make some pull-apart bread with it, okay? So this is what you're looking at here, the pre-made pizza dough from the can that popped on me. And next, I am going to show you that I'm going to cook my pull-apart bread in my bundt pan, okay? You're going to need provolone cheese. You're going to need American white cheddar cheese. You're going to need a red bell pepper, I'm sorry. You're going to need an onion, okay? You are going to need some cream cheese. I'm just using one small box. You're going to need some mozzarella because mozzarella helps with that cheesy cheese to the cheese pool. You're going to need whatever type of steak that you like to use for Philly cheesesteak, but this is ribeye steak because from my understanding, to make a great Philly cheesesteak, that's the best meat. I had all these ingredients already at my house. I paid $10 for that ribeye steak meat, and trust me, you guys, it is very delicious, okay? We're going to make this stuffing, and we're going to put everything inside this dough. So let's go ahead and let's get started. Chop your veggies first, okay? So after you have your veggies chopped, go ahead and get your stick of butter. Place that stick of butter inside of the pan. And we're going to allow that to melt. And this is what we're going to cook our steak meat in, okay? We're only going to use salt, black pepper, and garlic powder for our seasoning, okay? And we're going to cook this steak meat until it is done, okay? This isn't the type of steak meat that you have to cut prior to cooking because it is extremely thin. If you ever cook with steak or meat, then you're very familiar with this thin type of meat. As you can see, it's falling apart while I'm putting it in the skillet. And I showed you how thin the steak meat is, okay? But this meat is good. And it's not bad for $10 because I got a lot of it, okay? So after I wash my hand, I get ready to come back and I season with the salt first, okay? You're just going to use a minute amount of salt because cheese has a lot of salt in it. And I love the black pepper flavor on a steak. I'll tell you that anytime I cook a steak. And you're going to use that garlic powder. Okay. So now, after you season it, go ahead and cook your meat thoroughly until it's all the way done. Okay. This meat doesn't take any time to cook. This meat will be done in less than 4 minutes. I promise you. 4 minutes at the tops. Okay. And it's going to fall apart somewhat. If you have a metal spatula, you can break it up while it's cooking. I didn't use a metal spatula. I had my little buddy right there. So it's not as easy to break it apart while cooking. Okay, so now that my meat is done cooking, I'm going to get ready to go ahead and drop me some of these veggies on in here. Okay, so I'm going to drop my red bell pepper and my white onion in here, and we're going to saute the onions and cook them in with our meat, okay? This is the best way to get those flavors and aromas onto your steak meat, okay? This is ribeye steak meat. Okay, go ahead and go back in and season a little bit more of the seasoning to your veggies, because the veggies, remember, they didn't get that seasoning. But whatever seasoning that floats your boat, you can use. But normally, when they cook a Philly cheesesteak, they don't put any seasoning. They allow the fat that they cook it in from an animal to season their steak meat, an original Philly cheesesteak. Okay, so here you see I had to go in and cut my meat like so. So I just pulled me out a knife and I decided to cut it while it's in the skillet. But it is off. The skillet is no longer on, so make sure you have your skillet off while you're trying to do this, and take your time because you don't want your skillet to fall off the stove. If you want to take it out and chop it, you can. Either way it goes, the meat's going to have to be chopped really finely because we're going to roll it into the pizza dough for our pull apart bread, okay? Our Philly cheesesteak pull apart bread. Let me reiterate that this is going to be a Philly cheesesteak pull apart bread. Cheesy, 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 you guys. Very tasty and delicious. I really did enjoy this. So it's done. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to put it in a bowl. You can put it in a larger mixing bowl. I'm just going to use this small mixing bowl right here, okay? And I could have ate it just like this without any cheese. It was so tasty, you guys. You could just take a spoon and dip it in, and that's what it looks like when it's done. And it smells so yummy. I really, really enjoyed this. Okay, you guys? So now I'm going to cut up my provolone cheese. Now, if you want to shred you up some cheese, you can. This is just what I had in the refrigerator, you guys, and I don't mind using it, okay? It is very tasty and it does melt fine. So just cut it up into small sizes that it will be able to fit into a square from your pizza dough, okay? And also I'm cutting up the American cheese slices as well, because that's what originally goes on a Philly cheesesteak is provolone and American cheese. So now we are going to open up our cream cheese. It doesn't matter what type of cream cheese you use. I'm using the Great Value kind because that's what I had in the fridge. If you want to get the Philadelphia cream cheese, by all means, go ahead and get it, you guys. So I'm using the whole box, but I just did half and half at a time. And I mixed all of my cream cheese into my steak mixture for my Philly cheesesteak, because this is going to add depth to the creaminess also. Okay, you guys, it's really like a Philly cheesesteak dip, more so that you would bake, but I'm going to put it inside of this pizza dough. Okay, so that's what I'm doing here. Okay, next, let's move on and let's get that mozzarella out. Mozzarella, 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 mozzarella is your friend. Okay, mozzarella helps with the cheese pull. So I actually use a half a pack of this cheese. That's one of the small Great Value bags. Mozzarella, low moisture mozzarella cheese. Make sure you get low moisture because that's the best when you're using it to bake with. And I'm going to mix all of that in as well. Now, the provolone and American sliced cheese will be laid down on the dough. Okay, so go ahead and spray your pan. Y'all don't come for me because I'm using that Baker's Joy spray, okay? Use whatever type of spray you have. I just want to make sure that it didn't stick. Okay, so now I'm going to take a square size. You see that? Get your square size. You can lay your dough down and cut it if you like. But I'm going to take that square size dough. Okay, lay it down. I'm going to put 2 slices of American and like 2 or 3 of the small slices of the provolone. Just put enough slices in there to fit and make sure that it's not too much to where it is when you add your filling that it won't turn into a ball, okay? So you don't have to use an ice cream scooper. I chose to use an ice cream scooper. And I'm actually only going to use half dips because you don't want too much. You don't want to overfill your pizza dough. You want it to roll perfectly so that you can make a ball like I'm doing here. And once you make your ball, you're going to place the side down where you pinched it at the bottom in your pan like so, okay? And then you're going to go around in a circle until you're finished. Now, if you use more than one can, you're going to make more than one layer. And you probably want to get about 2 or 3 layers, but I only have 1 layer. And also a pull apart can be done like this with any type of filling that you would love to make, okay? Sort of like making monkey bread, a monkey pull apart bread, or a pizza ring pull apart bread, or garlic cheese, cheesy garlic pull apart bread. The only difference is with this is that I am using steak in the cheese. Mix steak with cheese and make it Philly cheesesteak style. And we're going to dip it in some of that cheese whiz, just like they do in Philadelphia on a real Philly cheesesteak sandwich. Okay, you guys? So that's two ways, two balls that I done, and I did the rest off camera. And as you can see, this is how I placed it in my bundt pan for baking the pull apart bread. Okay, you guys? That's my melted butter, okay? And to the melted butter, I am going to add in the seasoning. We got some garlic powder, okay? Gonna use about a half a tablespoon of garlic powder. I'm gonna use about a teaspoon of garlic salt. And the reason why I'm using garlic salt is because I really want a little salty flavor on the outside. That's optional, you guys. And I'm going to use some parsley flakes because, the parsley flakes make it look cute. Now, if you want to wait and add your butter to the end, you can do that as well, you guys, because sometimes it can make it a little darker. And you'll see how mine ended up being just a little bit darker because I did pour that butter in there while, on the top, and let it cook together, okay, you guys? So you may want to use the butter at the end. So go ahead and get your brush or spoon or whatever you choose, and go ahead and get ready to spread that on top of your pull apart bread, okay? I will not reiterate that this is so tasty and delicious, you guys. Okay, just spread it on there. Make sure that you have your oven preheated to 350 degrees, and you are going to allow this to cook until it is brown on the top and cook thoroughly, okay? You can get you a toothpick, and you can stick it in while it's cooking so that you can test how it's going to turn out in the end, okay, you guys? So go ahead, get your pan. Doesn't it look delicious before it's even cooked? But that's what it's going to look like, you guys, before you get ready to place it into the oven, okay? Like I said, if you have more pizza dough, you're going to have more balls and you're going to have more layers. So it may take you longer to cook than mine, okay? So now, you guys, our bread is out of the oven, and this is what our Philadelphia cheese steak pull-apart bread looks like on the outside. I'm brushing some more of that garlic butter on the outside for flavor. And you guys, this is so delicious, And what I'm going to do next is I am going to melt me some cheese whiz in the microwave. And I'm going to take that cheese whiz. I'm going to put it in a smaller bowl. You see that cheese whiz. And I'm going to put it in the middle. And that's going to be used for a dipping sauce. Okay, you guys. This is what the inside looks like of our Philly cheesesteak pull-apart bread. And I want you guys to see the depth of the cheese pull. See that? See that? That mozzarella, that provolone, and that American cheese. See that cheese pull? Yes. Amen. For those cheese lovers in the world like me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave lots of comments down below. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Subscribe, share, comment. Hit that notification bell so that you can be notified each and every time I upload a video. And thanks for joining Cooking with TK.